Yo, fellas, if y'all want to see me wife a girl that looks like this, or even this, tap in with my Instagram, man. My goal is 10K followers. If y'all active, I will follow back. Come on, y'all. I know we could do it, but hey, here go the vid. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my story. My name is Nelson Pierre Chambers, otherwise known as NPC. What kind of a name is NPC? Who is this guy? Hey, bro, who raised you? Hey, listen, whoever gave you that name, bro, beat him up immediately. Oh, that's crazy, bro. But hey, man, let's hear what he got to say, cuzzo, chill. All right, man, go ahead and continue, my guy. I'm a 6'9", small forward / point forward, and this is my second year in JUCO. I'm looking to see if I can get a Division I offer this year. But first, I gotta tell y'all a little bit about my background. In high school, I was all state, averaging about 13 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists. I didn't have a bunch of offers coming out of high school, so I decided to take the JUCO route. And in my first season at the JUCO, I averaged 9, 5, and 5. But this year, I'm looking to make a big leap. You see, I'm trying to make that top 100 JUCO list and get that Division I offer to one of my dream schools. But I know we got a long way to go. You see, this JUCO team was pretty good last year. So this year, we're going against some of the best teams in the nation. So I got to bring my A game. And if I want to make this happen, I gotta play at a level I've never played at before. But I feel like if anybody can do it, it's definitely me. At the beginning of the season, we got invited to the 2025 JUCO Classic. And let me tell you, these teams that were in this tournament was tough. And the first team we had to go against had one of the best JUCO point guards in the nation, Dior Johnson. He was averaging about 25 a game. Bro was really out there hooping. But when they going against us, we looking to get the dub. So coming out the gate, I was pushing in transition and tried to get straight to the cup. Posted him up and got the easy lay-in. Now, one of my best attributes is definitely passing. And like I said, last season, I was barely averaging double digits. So now, I'm trying to incorporate a lot of scoring into my game to get the attention of some schools. But, man, we going against some tough teams. And they play defense too. You see, the thing about JUCO, everybody fighting to make it out. So it's really a good place to go and find out how good you are. Some people make it out of JUCO and go Division I. But others, they end up falling off the board. But between me and y'all, I can't let that happen. It's my last year, so it's now or never. And as the game went on, I continued to try to get the offense going with the jump shot. Boom! Now, I had definitely been struggling on my jump shot the year before and in high school. But I know the ultimate goal is the NBA. And if I'm a 6'9" point forward that can shoot, team's gonna be in trouble. I ain't trying to be like Ben Simmons. I don't think that dude could shoot a ping pong ball in a trash can. As I drive to the lane and got the easy LeBron type tomahawk dunk. But there was this dude on the other team, man, he was going crazy. Bruh had like 2 dunks, and one of them kinda was a poster. I tried to go for the block, but I couldn't get it. I gotta tighten up on defense. Hey! But I drove straight to the lane and got my get back. Toward the end of the first quarter, I was starting to heat up like an easy bake oven. It was finna get ugly. But, like I said, they got that dude that's averaging 25, and he started to come alive in the game. Making tough contested shots. Sometimes you just can't do nothing about that. And me on the other end, I was trying to score at all 3 levels. In the post, the mid-range, and the tray ball. Man, I even had this one play in transition where I had the dude slipping and tripping like he was Scottie Pippen. And I ain't see nobody in the paint, So I just rose up and got the easy lay. And we were starting to build a lead in this game. But we still had a long way to go, so we can't get too comfortable right now. But it seemed like every time we got a bucket, Dior would come on the other end and get a bucket of his own. I'm telling y'all, some of these shots he was hitting was crazy. Can't forget, this dude was a former D1 player. And the way he looking right now, he definitely gonna be back to where he was at. I mean, the dude we had on him, he couldn't do nothing about it. But I used to cook him in practice, so I mean, how can you expect him to lock that up? Now, Dior ended up dropping 35 points this game. He definitely had a great performance. And toward the end, in the fourth quarter, I ended up hitting a dagger 3. Came off a screen, and I was wide open, pulled up, and y'all already know, man, that thing was nothing but net. Boom! Next thing you know, the game was over, and we sent them boys packing. As for me, I feel like I had a pretty good performance, especially it being the first game of the season. But we got a lot more work to do to get where we want to go. A few games later, we was sitting at 5-2, and we was doing pretty good. But we had a matchup against Early College, and them boys had a small forward that was in the top 100 JUCO players, where I was trying to get. So if I had a great performance this game, it'll definitely open some eyes. And we started off the game bombing. I threw a lob up to our center, and he dunked it right over their center. And as the beginning of the game went on, we went on a decent run. But I also forgot to mention to y'all, this team is ranked. So we have to keep the pressure on, because these boys, once they get going, they definitely not gonna let up. So I was in attack mode the whole time. I was driving to the lane and really getting what I wanted to get. But in order for us to win this game, I'm gonna have to be a true point forward and get my teammates involved. To be honest, I think I got too caught up in the matchup. I was just trying to outdo they small forward and score more points. But my coach was really pleading that I get others involved, especially since I was one of the best passers on the team. Called for the screen and roll, and drove again for another dunk. Hey! Yeah, I already know what y'all gonna say. You can't be selfish in these situations. But sometimes that's how JUCO get. Like I said, everybody trying to make it out, get that D1 scholarship, and eventually make it to the league. In this game, man, I was doing it on both ends of the floor. So I really wasn't trying to hear what coach was talking about. Plus, I haven't heard no scouting reports on me yet, so I didn't really know what teams liked about me or what they didn't. So to be real with y'all, I was just trying to do a little bit of everything in this game. But in the blink of an eye, they best players started turning up. I told y'all they was ranked, and it was mainly because they was good as a team. But every team got that one player, and this dude was definitely tough. But that's the thing about JUCO. You gonna face somebody that's tough every night, whether it's a D1 drop back or some dude trying to make it to Division 1. Either way, you gonna be facing some talent, trust. In the midst of all that happening, them boys ended up going on a huge run, and we was almost down by 20. And at that point, a lot of my teammates just wanted to get the game over with. But hey, I was still fighting to try to get the dub. That's one of the things that separated me from a lot of people. I don't care if we was down 50 or up by 50, I'ma still try to give it 100%. And for the rest of the game, that's exactly what I did. Like I said, this still was a matchup between me and their best player. So why would I come in here and play around? Now as a team, we couldn't get the job done, but there was no doubt that I definitely had a good performance. I was getting crazy layups, a lot of assists, and a lot of boards. I ended up finishing the game with 26 points, 8 rebounds, and 11 assists. All around, I really did everything. But we got to get some wins, so there's definitely more work to be done. 2 games later, we had a matchup against one of our rivals, Centralport. Keep in mind, I said Centralport, but I was trying to smoke these boys every time we played them. turn them into a Newport. And I started off hot, getting the first bucket of the game. And man, I did not like they center. So I called for the ball in the post next possession and got a bucket right over him. Us and this team, man, we did not like each other at all. So we was definitely trying to cook these boys and get them up out of here. And every time they center was on me, I just ISO'd them, went straight to the lane. Hey! And finished at the rim. The game was going exactly how we wanted it to go in the beginning. The momentum was swinging our way, and it was looking like we was gonna get the lead back and go on a run.
Damn! Oh my God!
But sadly, my boy Pedro got boomed on. They point guard came out of nowhere and got a lob right on his top. I ain't know it was Taco Tuesday. Better watch your head, Pedro. I know y'all don't really know me personally yet, but me personally, I wouldn't let that happen to me. No offense to Pedro. But, hey man, this team had a 4-point lead. So I came down the court and I was trying to make something happen. Boom! Pulled up on the block and knocked down the tray ball. Right after that 3, I got an easy dunk after getting the steal. And then, man, a storm was coming. We ended up taking that lead back and I was feeling it. Came down the court again, called for the screen, and man, y'all know what time it is. Boom! Pulled up on the block again for another tray ball. I told y'all in the beginning of my story, I was struggling from 3-point range last season. So I just knew coming into these games, I had to be confident. Just shoot the ball, don't even worry about it. And when I did that, I was looking like an elite shooter at 6'9". They might start comparing me to people like Jason Tatum or Brandon Ingram. But Central Port, they was fighting back. This was definitely not an easy game. They was scoring on the other end as well. However, it wasn't enough as we ended up getting an 11-point lead and kept on attacking. I ended up missing the lay and then turned in the swiper to Fox. Hey! And got another easy dunk. I'm telling y'all, I've been working on my game. I'm trying to do it on both ends of the floor. Be like a two-way point forward or something. I don't think the league is seeing that. And if they have, I'm trying to be the best one. But I still got some milestones to accomplish. And the first one is making it to Division 1. I'm just saying all that to tell y'all, I think I'm taking a step in the right direction. I was stringing together a pretty good season. I rarely turned the ball over as the primary ball handler, and I wasn't putting up video game numbers in the points category, but in the assists and rebounds category, I definitely was exceeding expectations. Now in this third quarter, I was thinking we should change our school name from Mott Community College to Donut Community College, cause man, it was a dunk fest. Dunk after dunk, I was going crazy. Ended up cooking a big man. And got the highlight play of the game. Man, I told y'all I didn't like this dude. He was always talking trash and acting like he could guard me. And Central Port thought he was their best defensive player. But I was showing tonight, y'all gonna have to put somebody else on me, especially if you want to win this game. Shortly after that, our coach called a timeout and the team acknowledged me for surpassing the all-time assist mark at this school. It's only a 2-year program and it's not saying a lot, but it definitely shows that I made my mark. So that was kind of a cool moment. And after that, we went right back to work. We had the lead. Boom! And we was not looking to let up at all. Hey man, I was starting to get real confident in my jump shot. Sadly for this defender right here, I had to give him an incoming FaceTime call from Mr. NPC. Knocked the tray ball down, and that was basically the nail in the coffin for these boys. We got them rivals up out of here, and not only that, we smoked them boys, beat them by like 20 points. I guess we can call Central Port Newport now. After this game, I found out I had a couple of D1 offers on my plate. I can't tell y'all where they was from yet, because now we gotta worry about that JUCO championship game. And I'm trying to walk out of there with a dub for sure. Before I knew it, it was time for the big game. It was kind of a surreal feeling, man, because this could potentially be my last JUCO game ever. But listen, we gotta come out here and perform and stay confident. I got what I wanted, got my D1 offers. Now, winning the championship would just be the icing on the cake. And to start this game off, once again, we started exactly how we wanted to. Got off to a hot start, and it's looking like the momentum was definitely in our favor. And with a 4-2 lead, I called for the ball in the post and attacked. Got the easy lay-in, and my post game was looking like it was becoming elite. To be honest with y'all, I'm pretty happy with how this season went. I ended up achieving my goal of getting that D1 scholarship. Now, I gotta set a new goal, and that's to make it to the NBA. But we do still have a task in hand, so I gotta handle business against Monroe College as I drive to the lane and get the easy lay-in over 2 people. And with a 42-42 score with 2 minutes left to go in the second, I tried to cook up.
Hey!
Ended up getting one of my first poster dunks of my career. I know y'all thinking that probably sound crazy because I'm sitting at 6'9", but man, I don't even be trying to dunk on people like that. Most people clear the area out, but I guess that dude wanted to be bold today. So we had to go ahead and put him down like a vet. Got this dude with a Pop-Tart and drove in for another acrobatic layup to give us a 4-point cushion. After that bucket, I got the feeling you get when she texts you and say she got the crib to herself. I was definitely hyped, and my confidence went up as I knocked down that tray ball. And once I knocked down that one, I just kept on shooting. I was looking like a completely different shooter than I did last year. And it was all about the confidence. It wasn't like I didn't have the ability to shoot. It would be plenty nice where I would get in my head about that. However, you just gotta go out there and play sometimes. Just have fun with it. And not worry about all the critics and not critique yourself too much. But at the same time, work to be a perfectionist. That's what it's all about. And I drove and got the and one bucket. That's what one of my favorite players, Corey Cash, be saying. So I thought I'd finesse it real quick. But that was crazy. It was a real acrobatic finish. I didn't even think I could do nothing like that. At 6'9", I was looking like the complete package. And as the game went on, I had this one play where I made this dude touch earth. I mean, it wasn't Wednesday, but it definitely looked like dude was at Bible study, praying to God. And he needed to if he was going to be able to stop me. Drove to the lane right after, and they really fouled me, but the ref ain't call it. Should have been an and one lay, but I still ended up finishing. And just like that, I was going to leave JUCO with a championship. And now it was time to move on to my next school. After winning the championship, I was officially one of the 100 best JUCO players in the nation. I was one of the only ones who hadn't committed to a college. And after receiving 4 major D1 offers, I decided to go ahead and take my talents to Ohio State. It was a few hours away from the JUCO, and I figured it was the perfect fit for me. Let's get to it. Man, the energy was definitely in the building this first game at Ohio State. Now, them JUCO crowds was cool, but this was a whole different atmosphere. I didn't know how to feel about coming off the bench, but I knew I had a lot of work to do. So I just came in the game trying to affect it however I could.
Hey!
And my first D1 collegiate bucket would be a dunk. And after I got that dunk to go, I stayed aggressive, shooting a tray ball. I missed the first one, but I ended up knocking down the second one, so it's all good. But let me tell y'all why I'm actually not starting. The small forward that's already on the team, he tough. He got first team all conference last year, and that's really what I had to compete with coming into this school. So I get it. I'm probably not gonna be starting right away. I really feel like I can get there though. While we was practicing before the first game, it wasn't like he was just out there cooking everybody. I was actually matching up pretty well with him. And you can make a case I did more all around. But I'm not here to hate. My goal now is to dominate at this level, or at least be good enough to make it to the league. And that included getting my teammates involved. I told y'all one of my best attributes is passing, and that was definitely something that I took pride in. On this play, I ended up sneaking right past the Iowa defense, and my boy threw me a lob, and I finished that thing. It was almost like a 360, 180 type deal. My athleticism ain't nothing crazy, but when you 6'9", you can get away with a lot of stuff. I'm really giving myself an extra inch because I'm 6'8", but y'all understand. Ended up kicking it to the corner and found my boy for the wide open tray ball. And y'all remember that all-conference player on our team I was talking about? Yeah, this game against Iowa, he was definitely hooping. I'm not even gonna hate. He was in there looking like an all-conference player. And the Iowa defense couldn't do nothing with him. He got a tough and one where he ended up on the ground. After that, he just stared at the camera and basically told everybody that I'm him. And that's what I gotta compete with all year, bruh. But don't get it twisted. I could hoop too. On the next possession, call for that screen and roll, and I hit my boy for the easy assist. That passing ability was definitely on full display. And as the game went on, me and this dude, we was both getting buckets. Tough buckets at that too. Sometimes I would end up finishing over 2 defenders. The way me and the starting small forward was hooping, I honestly didn't see why coach ain't put both of us in at the same time. I mean, one of us could run the 4 while the other one run the 3. Cause we seemed to have some chemistry, and this was only our first game playing together. That dude was a bucket though. It seemed like every time he got the rock, he was looking to go get a bucket. And that's exactly what he did. In this first game, I had a pretty solid performance. It was a great way to start off the season. We definitely moving in the right direction. And we one step closer to making it to the league. And that's the ultimate goal. Man, this Division I lifestyle was different. You had NIL deals, crazy fan bases, and a lot of girls trying to talk to you. I was just trying my best not to get overwhelmed. It felt like I was in the league already. Being in Division I college make you feel like you a professional. But next up, we had a game against Michigan State. And this wasn't just a regular game. It was a Big Ten conference matchup. You see, Michigan State, they was a threat up in our conference. So we had to come in this game and get them boys up out of there. I'm not gonna sit here and say I came into the game looking at them as a rival. What I will say is, as the game went on, things started to get more chippy and chippy. So this thing could definitely turn into a rivalry really quick. Keep in mind, I was new to the school, so I ain't played them before. But some of my teammates, they been here already. Speaking of teammates, my boy ended up knocking down the open tray ball, and we had the momentum going early. At this point in the season, I was still coming off the bench, but teams and everybody at Ohio State, they knew who I was, and they knew what I brought to the table. Most of the time when I got in the game, I was basically playing the point guard and small forward at the same time, hence the term point forward. I would always find my teammates for open looks, and in a way, I made everybody on the team better. I still was confused on why I wasn't starting, but I didn't want to knock down any team morale or team chemistry, so I just played my role, showed up, and did what I had to do. I could already tell that the coaching staff was impressed with how I was playing. I didn't have any NBA interest yet, but they kept telling me if I kept moving on this trajectory, I would have no problem getting NBA interest. And like I said, y'all know that's the ultimate goal. And as the game went on, we had an early lead in the first quarter, so I kept attacking. Ended up getting a crazy switcheroo layup, right over their defender. For some reason this game I was super gassed. I mean, I was out there giving it everything I had. I was trying to make it to the league and go against players like Lonnie Wade or Corey Cash. Them two dudes I look up to. And in order to do that, you gotta come out every single game and give it 120%. Some people do that and they still don't make it. But as I told y'all earlier, I have to make something happen. Now Michigan State fought back this game. They definitely ain't no scrubs. They was in the Big Ten championship last year, and they showed why. Man, one of their players hit a step back on me and drilled the mid-range right in my face. That's how it go at the D1 level, man. And I pride myself on defense too, so anytime I got scored on, you best believe I would come down on the other end and try to get my bucket right back. And on this possession, that's exactly what I did. During the game, the crowd had a bunch of different chants. At one point I thought they was chanting MVP, but it turns out they was chanting NPC. Hey, between me and y'all, I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I just wanted to keep playing and block out all the noise. So that's exactly what I did. And man, our small forward, he got the heating up too. At this point, we was both going crazy on the Spartans. And really not even just us two. Everybody on the team was clicking. And when we playing like this, I definitely feel like we one of the best teams in the nation. Now we got a long way to go. You got teams like Purdue, Duke, Gonzaga. But hey, we got a mean duo on this team with me and my boy. I'm telling you, we had some real chemistry. And I wouldn't be surprised if I saw his name in a couple different mock drafts this year. It'd be crazy if Ohio State could get 2 players to go to the draft in the same year. But hey man, this game, we got the dub, and I had another great showing. But y'all should know me by now. We got more work to do. Job ain't finished. A few weeks later, we had a big matchup against Illinois University. And man, these boys was tough. Plus it was a game on the road, so any game on the road is always gonna be rowdy, especially when they got a big student section. And that's exactly what this school had. So coming into this game, we just had to lock in, stay focused, keep our composure, and we was gonna come out with the dub. And they had one of the best scoring point guards in the nation. I mean, this dude had one of the best jump shots I've seen. If he keep it up, he definitely gonna be in the league. But I'm trying to get right there with him. And at this point in the season, our starting point guard, this dude was going crazy. He was the leading scorer on the team. Even though me and the small forward was putting up buckets, he was putting up crazy buckets. I'm talking about 20 points per game. And with a 12-7 lead on this possession, ended up breaking dude off, pulling up for the tray ball. Boom! Hey man, this is probably the best play of my career. I ain't even expect that to happen. That just showed me that my handles are way better than I thought they were. I mean, I broke dude off so bad, he literally fell into his teammate. And at that point, it was just all about knocking that shot down. And once I did, man, I knew this play was gonna be on ESPN's top 10 this week. I mean, dude really was stumbling bad. I couldn't believe I had did that. I wonder what it was like watching it from the crowd. That was definitely a crazy play. And after that, it seemed like the momentum just completely shifted, and we was gonna have no problem with this team. I was scoring, and like I said, the PG, he was going crazy too. If we keep playing like this, by the time March Madness come, we should have no problem. We can definitely make a deep playoff run. And by this point, we was up by like 12 in the first quarter, and it just got bad for the Fighting Illini after that. Called for the screen, drove to the cup, kicked it to the corner, and my teammate knocked it down. We was really blowing these boys out, to be honest. But then, tragedy was set in. Our PG drove right past his defender, pulled up for the mid-range bucket, and he drilled it. But he was on the ground holding his hip. He had got shaken up on the play. To be honest, I don't know what happened. I don't know if dude fell over him or if he just tweaked something, but it did not look good. He was sitting there for a minute. But he a soldier though, man. He got up and kept playing. And next time we got the ball, I just called timeout for him. He was in real pain jogging to the bench. And now with our best scorer out, it was on me and the small forward to finish this game. So that's exactly what we look to do. Call for the screen, threw the lob up.
Damn! Oh my God!
I'm not gonna cap, that was one of the nastiest lobs I've ever seen in my life. I'm just glad I was a part of it. And as we made a run, I looked at the PG on the bench and I told him, don't worry, bro, I got you. This game gonna be in the bag. And right after that, I got to doing what I usually do. Working from all three levels if I wasn't getting my teammate involved, and just all around putting points on the board. We were able to extend the lead, and in the second quarter, we was up by like 18. And we just kept on attacking. Pretty soon we was up by 20, and I was trying to get these boys out of here. Now our point guard, he fought through it and got back in the game. But by that time, I was already cooking. He was hyped for me. He was just telling me, hey bro, go ahead and do your thing. At this point, in the third quarter, I was the leading scorer in this game. So I just kept attacking.
Hey!
Man, the mindset I got into that game, I'll never forget. Couldn't nobody stop me at that point. Even though we were already up by like 20, I was the reason we increased it to 30. I really was just making all the right plays, whether it was a rebound, a pass, or getting the bucket. And just as I expected, we handled Illinois with no problem. And this was one of the best games of my career. Now it was after this game I started to get some NBA buzz. But next up we had March Madness. And if I played well there, I'd really get the buzz I wanted. Make this dream come true. Bada bing, bada boom, here we go in the second round of March Madness against Juggernaut UNC. And I'm gonna be honest when I tell y'all, they might have had the best scorer in the country. Arguably. But let me tell you something. This dude was averaging well over 20 points, and he was one of the toughest shot makers I've ever seen. And at the start of this game, UNC showed they wasn't playing no games with us. I tried to go up for a layup, and they center sent it into the crowd. It was at that moment I realized if we was gonna win this game, I was gonna have to play at a level I've never reached before. And our season on the line, so it's really now or never. So we had to go ahead and get to it. Now the start of the game was rough. I ended up missing my first two shots, and UNC jumped out to an early lead. Now the thing about our team, we were always a team who would end up starting off hot, and we were the ones jumping out to an early lead. So this was one of the few times this season where we had to fight back. And they point guard, like I said, he a tough shot maker. Coach had deemed me one of the best scorers on this team, so I figured why not be confident all game and see if I can't match his energy. And it turns out it was actually working. Anytime I got the ball, I was being super aggressive, and it ended up working out in my favor.
Hey!
On this dunk, I rose up and basically dunked over two people. Really 3 people if you count my teammate. But hey man, we gonna need a lot more than this if we want to win this game. And at that point, I knew that. It's crazy to think that I've played a whole season and we in an important game, and I'm one of the best players on this team coming off the bench. I don't know why coach didn't have me in the starting lineup, but me as a person, I was never gonna question it. I didn't want to be ungrateful, and I didn't want to cause no static on the team. So I just did the most I could with the opportunities that was given to me, as I got the and one bucket right over their big man. And listen, we needed all the momentum we was gonna get. So getting that and one, it was huge for us. It cut down their lead to 5, but hey man, we still got a lot to do in this game. And toward the end of the first quarter, called for the screen and roll, and I was getting aggressive again.
Hey!
Drove to the lane and got a LeBron type of dunk. Maybe that's my NBA comparison. I can do it all, but I don't want to get too ahead of myself. But remember that PG I was telling y'all about on this team? Yeah, he was in rare form. I mean, bro was hooping from the start all the way to the finish. I was chasing him around so many screens. I had never chased somebody around that much in my life. But he was dangerous off the catch. He would just step back, create separation, and then pull up. And by the time he create that separation, you might as well pray. I mean, this dude wasn't missing. The way he was hooping, he should most definitely be a lottery pick. I'm not even gonna lie to you. There was even this one shot he had in the corner. Bro, I was right there, contested it and everything. And I thought that mug was gonna brick, and he laced it right in my grill. And then I heard him. He turned to his coach and just said they can't guard me. I wasn't finna go out like that. So I came down on the other end and called ISO on him. Ended up getting the blow by. Hey man, I ain't see nobody in the lane. So I just rose up and got the easy 2-hand flush. I had to let bro know, hey, you hooping. But I'm finna come out here and hoop as well. We ain't finna just lay down for this team. And then the third quarter, they was up by a lot. And we found ourselves fighting back from a huge deficit. But we ended up decreasing that deficit to 9. And a point guard, he just kept on hitting tough shots, man. It seemed like every time we would go on a run, he would put that run to a halt. I mean, this shot right here, he pulled up over me and the small forward. And what happened? Laced it. It's like this dude couldn't miss. I ain't know what was happening. I ain't never seen no college player hooping like that. But I mean, hey, that's arguably why he one of the best scorers in the nation. Despite me putting up the most points I've ever put up in a college game, I just knew it wasn't gonna be enough. I definitely feel like if I started, maybe it would have been a different outcome. But unfortunately, we couldn't get the dub. And our season was over, but my story definitely wasn't. After seeing that the NBA had me projected to go mid-first round, I decided to enter my name in the draft. Now, it was only a matter of time. But the real question is, will I end up being the main character, or will I just be a role player? I guess y'all gotta stay tuned. We gonna find out together. I'll see y'all in the next one.